I can't wait for you to come home. The day of Jack's return was a celebration. Janet, Cindy, and Kevin decorated the apartment with balloons and a banner that read, "Welcome home, Chef Jack." Janet made a special dinner, a nod to Jack's culinary talents, and even Mr. Furley stopped by, bringing a fruitcake and a knowing smile. "So, Jack, back from your culinary adventure," Mr. Furley said, his eyes twinkling. "And I hear you've landed quite the position. Good for you, my boy. Always knew you had a knack for creating beautiful things." He patted Jack on the back, a gesture that, in Mr. Furley's mind, still carried the unspoken assumption of Jack's artistic nature. Jack simply smiled, embracing Janet tightly. The lie no longer bothered him. It was a relic of the past, a humorous quirk of their history. The present, and their future, was filled with a love that was real, honest, and openly declared. Life settled back into its comfortable rhythm, but with a new layer of happiness. Jack poured his heart and soul into his new chef position, quickly earning rave reviews for his innovative cuisine. Janet's floral business continued to thrive, and she expanded her studio, hiring more staff. Cindy, having graduated from community college, landed a job as a junior photographer for a local magazine, her unique perspective bringing a fresh voice to the publication. Kevin, always by her side, found a job in graphic design, and their love story continued to unfold with sweet simplicity. One quiet evening, months after Jack's return, he and Janet were sitting on the balcony, watching the sunset paint the sky in hues of orange and purple. The Santa Monica breeze, their oldest companion, whispered around them. "You know," Janet said, leaning her head on his shoulder, "it's funny how everything worked out. If we hadn't been so desperate for rent, if Chrissy hadn't left, if Cindy hadn't shown up with her boat, and if I hadn't made up that ridiculous lie," Jack finished, a fond smile on his face, "we might never have truly found each other." He turned to her, his eyes filled with love. "I wouldn't change a thing, Jan. Every crazy, chaotic, confusing moment led us here." He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small, velvet box. Janet gasped, her eyes widening. Inside, nestled on a bed of satin, was a delicate silver ring, adorned with a tiny, intricately carved rose. "Janet Wood," Jack said, his voice trembling slightly, "you're the most incredible woman I know. You're my best friend, my partner, my inspiration, and I can't imagine a single day without you. Will you do me the honor of becoming my wife?" Tears welled in Janet's eyes. She didn't hesitate. "Yes, Jack, 1,000 times. Yes." He slipped the ring onto her finger, and it fit perfectly. They embraced, a long, tender kiss sealing their promise. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the apartment, a silent witness to their enduring love. The next morning, Mr. Furley, on his usual rounds, spotted Janet's sparkling new ring. He squinted, then his eyes widened in surprise. He looked at Jack, then at Janet, then back at the ring. A slow, bewildered smile spread across his face. "Well, I'll be," Mr. Furley muttered, shaking his head in disbelief. "Jack, my boy, I always knew you had a knack for surprises, but this is truly unexpected. Congratulations, you two. Truly unexpected." He walked away, still shaking his head, the years of his carefully constructed assumptions finally crumbling. Jack and Janet exchanged a happy glance, a silent acknowledgement of the beautiful, chaotic, and utterly unexpected journey that had brought them to this moment. Their love story, born from a desperate lie and nurtured through friendship, had finally found its true, honest beginning. And as the Santa Monica breeze carried their laughter out to sea, they knew their adventure had only just begun. Equals 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 equals. The Santa Monica sun, usually a benevolent golden presence, felt like a cruel spotlight today, illuminating every speck of dust dancing in the air of apartment 200. For Jack Nelson, a culinary student with dreams, as grand as his culinary creations were, at times, disastrous. The brightness only served to highlight the growing stack of unopened envelopes on the chipped coffee table. Beside him, Janet Wood, a floral designer whose artistry brought beauty to countless lives, but rarely to her own bank account, sighed, The sound, a soft, weary counterpoint to the chirping birds outside. "Come and knock on our door. Come and knock on our door," Jack hummed off key, a nervous habit that usually preceded bad news. "We've been waiting for you. We've been waiting for you." Janet didn't bother to correct his mangled lyrics from their favorite sitcom theme. Her gaze was fixed on the latest utility bill. Its red overdue stamp a stark declaration of their deepening predicament. More like, "We've been waiting for a miracle, Jack." He winced, running a hand through his perpetually tousled brown hair. "I was trying to get us some money, Jan. Honest. Remember that ad in the Times? Cheerful finance. Loans up to $5,000. No questions asked." Janet raised an eyebrow. A silent question. "Yeah, well," Jack continued, a sheepish grin spreading across his face. "Turns out they do ask questions. A lot of them. Like, do you own your own home? Do you own a car? Do you have any collateral?" He mimed the phone call, his voice shifting from hopeful to dejected. "And then, hello, you hung up on me." He threw his hands up in exasperation. "Apparently, no questions asked actually means no answers we don't like asked." Janet chuckled, a dry, humorless sound. "You're not going to have any boyfriends left if you keep saying no, Jack." It was an old joke, a nod to their carefully constructed charade for their conservative landlord, Mr. Furley, who believed Jack was gay to allow a man and two women to live together. The truth was, Jack and Janet were just friends, two struggling individuals sharing an apartment with their third roommate, Chrissy, who was currently out of town, leaving them in a financial lurch. "I was trying to get us some money," Jack emphasized, gesturing to the mountain of bills. "Then stop saying no to the questions that matter." "Look at all these bills," Janet said, pushing a particularly threatening-looking envelope from the gas company towards him. "I know. What about the pawn shop? Did they give you anything for your watch?" Her voice held a sliver of hope. Jack's grandfather's watch, though old, was a beautiful heirloom. Jack's face fell. He pulled up his sleeve, revealing a new, cheap leather strap on his wrist. "Yep, a new strap. They felt sorry for me." Janet stared, then burst into a frustrated laugh. "You what, Jack? That watch was practically an antique. They gave you a new strap." "Well, they said it was sentimentally priceless but financially worthless without the original clasp, which, you know, broke last year," he mumbled defensively. And the guy felt bad, so he threw in the strap. "What are we going to do for rent money?" Janet ran a hand through her short, practical blonde hair. The apartment, with its slightly mismatched furniture and vibrant, if fading, bohemian charm, suddenly felt less like a home and more like a ticking time bomb. Jack leaned back, stretching his long legs, trying to project an air of calm he didn't feel. "Maybe you should borrow some money from your boyfriend. What's his name? Bill?" Janet's eyes narrowed. "Oh, come on, Jack. I don't borrow money from guys I date." "Well, maybe if you broke up," he suggested, then instantly regretted it, as her gaze sharpened. "Oh, stop," she snapped, though a tiny smile played on her lips. They bickered like an old married couple, a testament to their deep if sometimes exasperating friendship. "Jan, we've got to do something." "I know. I'm doing the best I can," she insisted, pushing herself up and pacing the small living room. "I've picked up extra shifts at the flower shop, but it's barely covering our groceries, let alone Chrissy's share of the rent." The mention of Chrissy hung heavy in the air. Chrissy Snow, their third roommate, a sweet, somewhat ditzy blonde, had gone home to Santa Barbara for a family emergency, promising to send her share of the rent. But weeks had passed, and only silence and bills had arrived. The phone rang, startling them both. Jack lunged for it, almost tripping over a discarded cookbook. "Hello." He listened for a moment, his expression shifting. "Hey, it's Larry." He held the receiver out to Janet. "Larry, look who's..." "Jan, it's Larry." Janet took the phone, her voice immediately warmer. Larry Dallas was Jack's best friend, perpetually broke ladies' man who often found himself in as much trouble as Jack. "Larry, we were just talking about what a terrific friend you are." Jack rolled his eyes, making a money gesture with his fingers. Larry's voice crackled through the phone, a familiar blend of charm and desperation. "Forget it, Jack. I'm broke." Janet looked at Jack, a shared exasperation passing between them. "Can you believe this guy? He thinks we're going to ask him for some money." "Heaven forbid," Jack said. "Good, Because all I've got left is $1.85, Larry declared. Jack's eyes